Everyone, so I am here with another Canva tutorial on how you can use some of your images to create a Pinterest graphic for your Pinterest account. This is the final image we're going to be using, and this was an image I shot for a local interior designer, and it's one way that I would like to show some of my clients how you can actually use your imagery that you get from me to market and promote your work. So here's a great way in which you can take the imagery that I would provide you, load it into Canva, and further get extra miles out of it. So this is the image we're going to end up with, and we're going to go ahead and start with a new one so I can tell you exactly how we get to this result. So when you log into Canva, you're going to see this screen. And what we're going to be doing is you can look at these sort of pre-made templates here. We're just going to scroll over and we're going to go ahead and click Pinterest graphic. And right away, there's so many great templates to use already. You can just scroll right through, or you can start from scratch. But what we're going to do today is use one of these templates and modify it a little bit to our needs. So the one I picked was a little further down, so we're just going to scroll through that. Sorry, my dog is going crazy in the background because there's a delivery being made down the street. So keep in mind that when you are looking at these templates that your imagery sort of goes along with what the template shows. For example, this one is a dark image with white lettering. If you were to bring in a really light image, the white lettering may not show up as much, so you would probably have to change that to a darker font color. Just stuff to keep in mind in terms of how much customization you want to ultimately be doing. So the closest you can get to the imagery that's already in the template, that's great if you're using your own imagery. So we're going to keep scrolling, and let's see, I think it's this one here. So you click on it and it loads it up, and what we're going to immediately do is replace this background image with our own. So I'm going to click on that and just click on my keyboard, delete. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go to uploads, and this is where you have all your images uploaded into Canva. I've already pre-uploaded this image, so we're going to actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag it in here, and it just sort of pops it into that template already, which is great, and I think it's looking really good so far. So what I want to do next is just change up the text and then add our own personal touches, but it's pretty simple. So let's go ahead and change this to 5, because what we're going to do is assume that this designer maybe wants to show off like 5 modern bath elements that you can add to your next bath renovation. So that's sort of the goal that we're going for. Let's say it's a blog post and they want to promote that. So just to change the background of the circle, you would click on it, click on the color, and then you would get this sort of standard palette. And you can add another palette, but I believe you would need to pay for that. So you're kind of stuck with the colors that they give you. So that's another thing that you want to keep in mind when you're using a template from Pinterest, is just that it's somewhat limiting. But I do like this blue. I think it goes very well with the bathroom image. So we're going to do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and change this text. And all you got to do is just click right in there. And then I'm going to do 5 modern bath elements you need to add to your next renovation project. Actually, let's just do renovation. And what I want to do is make this centered. So up here, you'll just click the center button again, one more time, and then everything's centered. This, you can add, maybe a little blurb here, but one thing that would be great is to add your website. So let's say it's www.awesomedesigner12345.com. And again, I want to have this centered. So center, center, center. And one thing I want to do next is this circle seems much too big now that before I think it was a 10 there. So let's go ahead and click on the circle. Sometimes, there we go. Let's make it a little smaller. And then we're going to recenter it. And if you just click and drag on the element itself, once you are able to click on the right element, sometimes, there we go. And all these guides show up. So right there, it's showing that it's center with the 5, aligned properly, and that looks great. The last thing, you can see that there's actually this text up here that says So Glam Beauty Blog. Why don't we go ahead and change that to Awesome Designer Blog. But you really can't see it, so let's go ahead and change the color. And there we go. So we have reached our final destination when it comes to this, creating this Pinterest graphic using some imagery that is created by your photographer. This is, like I said, this is an image that I created for one of my interior design clients, and this is a great way in which she could use this in the future to help promote a blog post on Pinterest. Pinterest is a wonderful way to promote your business and to generate SEO and leads to your website. So what it does is, you know, it acts as a search engine, and people can find you so easily through Pinterest. And pins, they have a really long lifespan in terms of, I guess you could say in terms of return. Blog posts, Facebook posts, Instagram posts have a relatively, let's call it short lifespan, in terms of their reach. And so Pinterest pins last forever. You may pin something, you may have for your personal Pinterest, you may pin something that was created like 6 years ago. And similarly for your business, your pins will be there and it'll be able to be searched over and over again by your target market. So that's pretty much it, guys. So what you would do next to get it onto your computer is you would just click this download button, save it to where you want it, and then you'd be on your way. You would just have to load this into Pinterest along with the associated content and link, and you're good to go. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Hopefully I'll have some more tutorials for you shortly.